Now, let us start with the last part of the chapter, general principles and processes of isolation of elements. Metal extracted by any of the method is contaminated with some impurities. For obtaining metals of high purity, several techniques are used depending upon the difference in the properties of the metal and the impurity. Examples are distillation, liquefaction, electrolysis, zone refining, vapor phase refining, and chromatographic methods. We will take all these techniques one by one. First is distillation. This is a very useful technique for low boiling metals like zinc and mercury. Here, the impure metal is evaporated to obtain pure metal as distillate. Second is liquefaction. In this method, a low melting metal like tin can be made to flow on a sloping surface. In this way, it is separated from high melting impurities. You can see in this video, impure metal is put from the above on a sloping hearth. It is being heated. The pure metal gets collected in the container, whereas impurities are left behind. Next is electrolytic refining. In this method, the impure metal is made to act as anode. A strip of the same metal in pure form is used as cathode. Both of them are put in a suitable electrolytic bath containing soluble salt of the same metal. The more basic metal remains in the solution and the less basic goes to anode as anode mud. Anode mud basically contains impurities. And can you just imagine? The impurities present in the anode mud are antimony, selenium, tellurium, silver, gold, and platinum. So the recovery of these costly metals from the anode mud meet the cost of refining. At anode, metal will change into metal ions, whereas at cathode, metal ions will convert to metal. Zinc is also refined by this method. You can see the process in this video. Here impure copper is taken in the form of anode, pure copper as cathode. Electrolyte is a copper sulfate solution. You can see electrolyte breaks into copper ions and sulfate ions. Now copper ions move towards cathode and they get deposited over there, taking 2 electrons from there. At anode, electrons they move through the wire and collect at cathode. So as the time passes, the size of the cathode increases, whereas that of anode decreases. Next we have zone refining. This method is based upon the principle that impurities are more soluble in the melt than in the solid state of metal. This method is very useful for producing semiconductor and other metals of very high purity. For example, germanium, silicon, boron, gallium and indium. Now, you can see here a circular mobile heater. It is fixed at one end of the rod of the impure metal. The molten zone moves along with the heater, which is moved forward. As the heater moves forward, the pure metal crystallizes out of the melt and impurities pass on into the adjacent molten zone. This process is repeated, and at the one end impurities get concentrated. This end is then cut off and purified metal is obtained. Vapor phase refining. In this method, metal is converted into its volatile compound collected elsewhere. It is then decomposed there to give pure metal. Means two requirements are there. Number one, metal should form a volatile compound with a reagent. And number two, the volatile compound should be easily decomposable so that recovery is easy. Bond process is used for refining of nickel. In this process, nickel is heated in a stream of carbon monoxide forming a volatile complex, nickel tetracarbonyl. This complex is subjected to higher temperature so that it is decomposed to give pure metal. Van Arkel method is used for the refining of zirconium or titanium. In this method, the crude metal is heated in an evacuated vessel with iodine at 870 Kelvin to form a complex metal iodide. This metal iodide is decomposed on a tungsten filament which is heated electrically to about 1800 Kelvin. The pure metal is thus deposited on the filament. Next is chromatographic method. This method is based upon the principle that different components of a mixture are differently adsorbed on an adsorbent. The mixture is put in a liquid or gaseous medium which is moved through the adsorbent. Different components are adsorbed at different levels on the column. Later, the adsorbed components are removed by using a suitable solvent known as eluent. Depending upon the physical state of the moving medium and the adsorbent material, and also on the process of passage of moving medium, the chromatographic method is given name. It can be a column chromatography. If it is used in a column, it can be paper chromatography or it can be a thin layer chromatography. It is very useful for purification of elements which are available in minute quantities. And impurities are not very different in the chemical properties from the element to be purified.